Entertainment Industry News, Audio Edition, for December 5, 2019. Brought to you by TVWriter.com. Links to the articles may be found in the transcript at TVWriter.com. Why should you as a visitor to TV Writer be interested in making audio fiction? Why should you be interested in making podcasts? Discoverability, that's why. The meaning of the word podcast is evolving to include any episodic, audio-only production, whether non-fiction or fiction. Agents and major studios have started trawling through podcasts and their creators for new content and talent. So here's the latest news to help you and your podcast get discovered. I told you so. From earbuds to screen, what podcasts did next? If you want to know why you should make a podcast, this article tells you in great detail with many examples. It focuses on Gimlet Pictures, an offshoot of Gimlet Media, which, as its latest foray into podcast movie adaptations, has announced Man of the People, an adaptation of an episode of the Reply All podcast, to be directed by Richard Linklater and starring Robert Downey Jr. Chris Gilliberty, head of Gimlet Pictures, says about podcast adaptations, "It's a huge market. I think we'll see the trend increase for quite some time." smh.com.au. Resources. Why your podcast needs a trademark. I'm not convinced, but there's a lot of good information here. One thing I didn't know, TM denotes an unregistered trademark and the R in a circle designates a registered trademark. Both protect your intellectual property, but the registered trademark is more useful in court. Editorandpublisher.com. Resources, Part 2. An oral history of the podcast. A fascinating look at the beginnings of podcasting back in the Jurassic period of 2004, leading up to the present. It's a long read that I began thinking I might skim, but it wasn't long until I found myself going back and reading the parts I skimmed. Worth a look. EsquireMe.com. Resources, Part 3. Welcome to Night Vale World Tour 2020. Welcome to Night Vale announced its new world tour starting in March of 2020. The live shows are a great way to get introduced to one of, if not the most popular fiction podcasts in the world. They will be performing in over 50 cities across the US and Europe. Go, listen, and network. Podcasters are some of the most open, helpful people on the planet. Take advantage of the opportunity. Welcome to nightvale.com/live. We need more listeners. How to tell if your podcast is growing. Once you get your podcast going, it's already in planning stages, right? You're going to want to know how it's doing. Podcasters tend to geek out over download numbers the way authors geek out over sales numbers. Trouble comes when you're not interpreting those numbers correctly. This article gives some guidance on how to read your download stats. Podcastbusinessjournal.com. If you wanna write, you gotta listen. This is dope. The Magnus Archives has 160 episodes of bone-chilling horror for you. This excellent review from Sci-Fi Wire of the British horror audio fiction podcast, The Magnus Archives, points out what can be done if you want to. Jonathan Sims, writer and performer, has written an average of one 20 to 30-minute episode every 8.5 days for the last 2.5 years. Worth a listen. sci-fi.com/sci-fi-wire. So, until next week, same pod time, same pod channel, keep listening and keep creating. Links to the articles are available in the transcript at tvwriter.com. Compiled by Robert W. Tinsley. Music provided by Incompetech, The Builder by Kevin MacLeod, Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International. Link available in the transcript.